welcome back to my channel. I am Rae, your gracious host for the channel Rae-SMR. Today we're going to be talking about romance books that I loved, that I've read. I have about 8 for you, and also I filmed 10 minutes of this and then I realized my microphone was muted. So shout out to me for recognizing that, for real, because I would have been pissed. But there's only so much daylight to be working with, to be wasting 45 minutes of it filming a video that's muted. So I'm glad I got that. So we are going to be starting with Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Before we start, some of these books I have on physical, some of them I have on, what is it called? Kindle. So I will be tapping on this for some of the effects for some of the books. But let's get into it. So, first book is Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Jesus. Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book is one of the few YA books I've actually read in the past few years. I read this in 2020 during the pandemic. I've talked about it before on my channel, but I will say it again because I love this book. So this follows Rowan and Neil on their last day of senior year, and they are enemies. They're academic rivals, and they get paired up to be together for this this scavenger on the whole entire class is for the last day of school, and they're like, oh my gosh, I hate this, but they realize while they're doing all this scavenger hunting that they've actually been more alike than they thought they were this whole time, and maybe they hated each other because they're so similar. But yeah, I love this book. It's fun. There's stakes kind of because at the end of the night they're going to college. So when I had first read this, I think it was supposed to be a standalone, but a new book actually just came out in the series called Past, Present, and Future. Sorry, and there's a big bang about them making their way through college and how their relationship goes through that. So yes, that is the first book. Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. I really, really loved this book. It reminded me, it was a page turner. It was such a fast page turner. One of the reasons I started reading again, because this is one of the first books I read since I was younger. And I really, really liked it. The next book that I have is Fangs by Sarah Anderson. And this one is also one that I don't have with me right now. I actually just read it the other day. It only took me 15 minutes to read, so I don't really feel too strong about it in either way, but I enjoyed it. I'll just read it off of here so that you can get a more concise thing, because I can try to summarize them, but I'll probably miss stuff. Okay. Elsie the vampire is 300 years old, but in all that time she has never met her match. This all changes one night in a bar when she meets Jimmy, a charming werewolf with a wry sense of humor and a fondness for running wild during the full moon. Together they enjoy horror films, scary movies, shady strolls, fine dining, though never with garlic, and a genuine fondness for each other's unusual habits, macabre lifestyles, and monstrous appetites. So it's cute. It follows a werewolf and a vampire, like it said, and it's just like vignettes of their like romance and their life together. I really liked it. Not too much on it though, because it's so short. It's a graphic novel, so it's not like there's like, well, there's still plot, but there's not like there's like exposition, you know what I mean? So yeah. The next book that I have for you guys is actually, I have this one, Beach Read by Emily Henry. This book is a enemies to lovers book, as I've realized almost all of Emily Henry's books are, but hey, I like it. Sorry, my nose itches. But yeah, I will read you what this is about. Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens a happily ever after, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months they're living in a neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. He'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of the Backwoods Death Cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love. Really. So, this one's fun. It's just a nice... it's romance. It's here, it's there, it's sweet, it's salty, it scratches the itch. It's fun. It's a little bit smutty, which I was not expecting, because I don't think Book Lovers was as... I remember one scene from Book Lovers, but I didn't like one scene. But this one really takes it home in the last third. But yes, that is Betrayed. Now the next book, like I just talked about, is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I don't have that one on physical, so I'm back to the Kobo. So this is also a summer enemies to lovers book. Nora Stevens' life is books. She's read them all, and she's not the type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent, and her beloved sister, Libby. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August, when Libby begs her first to strip away, with visions of a small-town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine of her own story. But instead of picnics in meadows, or run-ins with a handsome country doctor, or bulging forum bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute, if not for the fact they've met many times and it's never been cute. If Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero. But as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. So I can't read today, but let's Book Lovers, another banger. The next book that I have is Ready or Not by Cara Stone. This one is a surprise pregnancy one-night stand trope. And I know you guys are like, oh my god, but guys, it is one of the best ones. What do you mean? There's stakes, there's it's just, you have to read them, and if you hate them, then I don't understand why. They're so fun. They're so fun, because it's real life. It's not oh my god, I'm in love with you, but I don't want to say it. It's oh, we're having a baby, I think. Let's tap the book in. They're my favorite. But, okay. Let me read you the description. I was what is it called? The bio. No. Okay. A surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn friends to lovers romance of found family and unexpected love. Eve had just pretty content with her life. Her apartment in Brooklyn is cozy and close to her child best friend Willa, but far from her Midwestern traditional family, who never really understood her. While her job is only dream adjacent, she's hoping her passion and hard work will soon help her land a more generous role. And sure, her most recent romantic histories consisted of not one but two disappointing men named Derek. At least she always knows what to expect, until she finds herself expecting after an uncharacteristic one-night stand. And this unplanned pregnancy cracks open the relationships in her life. Eve's loyal friendship with Willa is feeling off right when she needs her most, and it's Willa's steadfast older brother Shep who steps up to help. He has always been friendly, but now he's checking in, ordering her supplies lunches, listening to all her complaints, and is suddenly kind of hot. Then there's the baby's father, who is supportive but conflicted. Before long, Eve is rethinking everything she thought she knew about herself and her world. Over the course of 9 months, as Eve struggles to figure out their next right step in her expanding reality, she begins to realize that family and love in all forms can sneak up on you when you least expect it. POV, I'm running out of breath. Sorry, it must be an asthma day. I loved Ready or Not. It was one of my favorites of the year. It was very sweet. It did kind of hit me differently than I thought it was gonna. It went a different direction than I thought it was gonna go. But either way, I still enjoyed it. I will say one of my pet peeves is that in these kind of books, after they have the kid, it's over. Like, it's like a build up until literally the kid is born and then it ends. And like, that's great and all, but give me, I want to know how it goes. Like, sue me, I want to know how it goes. Like, is that a weird thing to ask for? Let me know if you guys think that's weird. But yeah, I loved this book. I give it a 4-star. So, okay, the next book is a good one, a favorite one. If I say so myself. Jesus. Okay, the next one is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This book, I read this. This is one of those books that I stayed up all night to read, and I adored this book. Oh my gosh, I loved it. This follows, I'll just read it to you. 4 dates, a kiss, and a breakup. That's all it will take to find their soulmate. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious. But when Emma's toxic mother shows up, Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings. They're subtly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings. Has fate finally brought the perfect pair together, or will their cure be way more hazardous than the curse itself? I adore this book. I do. This is one of my favorites. It's just so... Emma is a travel nurse. And Justin has to take guardianship of his siblings. I just love a single dad. Let me come clean. I love a single dad. I love it. Well, I need to read Wild Love by Elsie Silver, but I'll get to that. But, yeah. If you're into that, it shows that a man can care for other things. I think that's why I like it. But if you're into that, this one's really good. I just love it. What can I say? But yeah, you should read this one. I think out of all the books I'm recommending to you today, I'd recommend this one the most. It was my favorite by far, by a landslide. But okay, next is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is a romantasy. I've talked about this book like 15,000 times, so I'll make it quick. This book follows Kai and Peyton. Peyton is an ordinary, and Kai is an elite, and also the king's son. So they have this thing called the trials that happen every year, I think. And Peyton gets chosen to go represent at the trials, and it follows her going through these Hunger Games-esque things. Wow. Falling in love with Kai, but that's forbidden. But they don't know that she's an ordinary, so she's just using her mastery of trickery to get herself through these trials in this game. Yeah, that's really the whole book. It's very Hunger Games-esque. Like I said, it is a fantasy. I think this is young adult also. This is another young adult. And it's just fun. It's very fun. I loved it. This is my first romantasy book. Maybe that's why I loved it so much. Well, not my first, but first new gen romantasy book. So I thought it was super fun. And I think you should read it if you like the Hunger Games, if you like romance, if you like fantasy. There's that one. The next book I have for the recommendations is Calling By Your Name by Andre Aciman. Now, before we start, this book is controversial. I know that. I know it is. I know. But when I read this in my junior year of high school, senior year, one of them, I don't know, it really made an impact on me. I adored the writing style. I adored the content of the book. I feel like the age gap obviously is weird, but would you ignore that? I think it's really fun. This book follows a boy named Elio and his father's student. What is it called? A student? I guess it's just a research assistant Oliver comes to live with Elio and his parents to help his father with research. And throughout the book, it just is kind of like a cat and mouse game of like Elio and Oliver. Will they, won't they? What is this formative romance and first loves and finding who you are throughout yourself? And I just feel like this book it's glorious when it comes to writing. Like, the writing is insane. Let's see, what is this? Let me read this quote. I just flipped to one randomly. Let's see what it is. Let's see what my 17-year-old brain was like. Oh, this eats. Get ready. The dream had been right. This was like coming home, like asking, where have I been all my life? Which was another way of asking, where were you in my childhood, Oliver? Which was yet another way of asking, what is life without this? Which was why, in the end, it was I and not he who blurted out not once, but many, many times, you'll kill me if you stop. You'll kill me if you stop. That was kind of solid. It's kind of solid. This is so good. If you didn't realize this is a gay romance, it's so good. So oh my god, it's so good. I wanted to reread this in the summertime, but I just never got to it. I wanted to read it by water, and I just was never by water to read it. So I just didn't, because it didn't really, I feel like it wouldn't have hit correctly if I read it just like in my house in Ohio. So yes, I want to read this book so bad. This is also the movie edition cover for the film by the same name by the one and only Luca Guadagnino. Oh my goodness. Now, I know everybody loves Challengers, me included, but before Challengers, it was Call Me By Your Name. And I was also on Timothy Chalamet's Stan Twitter, so that's why I also have a deep appreciation for it. But I don't know, this book really just, I have no idea. I don't know. I really don't know. It's so short. I should really read it again. What else we got in here? Let's see another quote. I believe with every cell in my body that every cell in yours must never die. And if it does have to die, let it die inside my body. I need to reread. Can you guys tell how much I loved this book when I was younger? Which is kind of weird that I read it when I was younger, because the content matter is interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this book. Okay, I found another one. Oh wait, no, that's not a good one. That one needs context. That one needs context. This is another one. I suddenly realized that we were on borrowed time. That time is always borrowed, and that the lending agency exacts its premium precisely when we are the least prepared to pay and need to borrow more. I'm just cracking myself up now. I just love this book. I wish I would have like had like my annotation like tabs to like actually, so I could see where I had tabbed it, but I keep finding them because they're everywhere in this freaking book because it's so good. It's just so good. I want to know you, and through you, me. Crazy. People who read are hiders. They hide who they are. People who don't hide. People who read are hiders. They hide who they are. People who hide don't always like who they are. That one might not be great. Nah, I'm just having fun. Okay. I'm putting it down. 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 Please don't hurt me, which meant hurt me all you want. But before he tipped out of the cab and walked into her home, it would never have seemed remotely possible that someone so thoroughly okay with himself might want me to share his body as much as I ached to yield up mine. Cut the cameras. Okay. On to the next. I spent like 7 minutes just doing that. Whatever. The next. I want to keep reading more. Maybe I should just read that next. Oh my gosh. I won't. You know what? Let's throw a curveball in there. You guys aren't gonna ever expect this, and you guys are gonna be like, for the romance. Yes, oh, come on. The next book I'm gonna be talking about is, drumroll please. Drumroll please. The Mortal Instrument City of Bones. Yes, the incest book. Now, I personally am not a crazy person who dwells on it. When I was younger, I read that and I just let it, like, I was just like, okay, throw it behind your back. Like, I wasn't like thinking about like, oh, these are brother and sister. But the thing is, like, they're not necessarily brother and sister. Anyway, an evening at a New York nightclub takes an unexpected turn for 15-year-old Clary when she witnesses what looks like murder, but the victim's body has vanished into thin air. What's even more strange is that her best friend Simon couldn't even see the attack take place. It's so fun. This was in modern New York City. It's about shadow hunters and Clary and how she finds out how she fits into that world. They're basically, shadow hunters are basically angels that fight demons and necromancers and all that stuff. And I just love it. That's just I'm gonna put that one in there. If you want to read it, do it. If you don't want to read it, that's fine. But I'm telling you, the incest plot is not that well. This is a spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip to sometime, like a minute from now. The incest trope is not even correct. It's not. Like, they're not brother and sister. They think they are for like 2 books, but they're not. So if that's what's keeping you back, read it. Or are they? No, I'm just having a hoot. Can you guys tell? I don't know. Okay, this is the last book for real. For serious. The last and final book for this video is, drumroll please, The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This book follows a girl. Oh, great. Anna and Liam. They get married in college for like technical reasons, not because they're in love, not because they even know each other. Anna needs housing and Liam wants to something about his family, I don't know. They get married and they divorce and they need to move out, but then Liam just on her door one day and is like, hey girl, remember when I said that we got divorced? We didn't actually, I never submitted the papers, so I need you to come with me to a wedding. My parents can think that we're still married so I can get this inheritance. And she's like, what the hell? Let's do it. So basically it just follows this fake dating trope. I think it's very fun. I gave this book 4.5, probably 4.5 stars. And yeah, big recommendation. This one's very fun, very good. Takes place on an island, and it's kind of like she has to impress his whole family for like a week, but it's like really well rounded. Like there's conflict, there's romance, there's understanding, there's like, it's just a whole thing. And I feel like, yeah, it just is a very fun, well done romance book. So yes, that's Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Okay guys, that's everything. I hope you know what you want to read now because of what I've said. There's no reason I'm holding this one up next to my face. Not one reason. Definitely pick any of the books I've recommended you, any of them. I have no bias toward any book that I recommended for this video, so like, read anything. I'm just kidding. But thank you guys for watching. That's this week's video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. The book club is still going. We're still reading that one Riley Sager book that I can't remember the name of. It'll be in the description if you want to join. And yeah, I love you guys dearly. I'll see you next week.